Time to get stronger, guys. Today we are easing back into front squats for the first time in ages. It's definitely a very foreign field to me. I've been doing only low bar squatting for a while now. So I worked up to a single of 315 pounds, nothing crazy, nothing heavy, again, easing into it. The first single I did, the weight moved fast and easy like it should, but my technique just looked ugly for a front squat. I just felt like I was trying to sit back into my hips too much, as if it were a low bar squat, and that was causing my knees to kind of cave in a little bit. So I redid that single and I focused mentally on keeping my hips and knees open and just keeping my hips underneath my torso so I'd be much more erect, sitting onto my quads more. And that definitely helped clean up the form right off the bat, but I have a lot of work to do, so it's just a foreign position and a foreign feeling to me right now. So my short-term goal over the next few weeks is to really clean up my front squat form and make the front squats look nice and pretty, technique-wise, and that will only help my overall squat strength. After front squats, we're doing deadlifts, but specifically paused deadlifts, another variation I haven't done in a little while. I woke up today and watched that video I made with Ricky the other day where we were benching and he deadlifted, and it dawned on me that I think he's actually winning our friendly competition that we've had going on for deadlifts for a while. Him and I have always had a 3.09 times our body weight deadlifts. Pound for pound, we've been neck and neck on the deadlift, and it's been fun. Neither of us are great pullers, but it's been a little fun competition for each of us in the gym. And recently though, I think he's starting to gain on me. I really need to get these deadlifts going, so we're throwing in the variations like the pause deadlifts, and another major change I'm making is just squatting before deadlifts. We're not doing full-on heavy, exhausting ourselves competition squats, but we're doing like a light, low volume squat variation before we deadlift. So today it's the front squats. Friday, before our regular competition deadlifts, it's gonna be some light high bar squats. And what this does is it really just gets your posterior chain firing, turned on and engaged. So then when you go over to the deadlift, you feel completely warmed up, your posterior chain's firing. I mean, you just feel ready to go for the deadlifts. You're gonna be on YouTube in 3, 2, 1, go, and then just tell them what the deal is, what we're doing, and where they can find this.
Yo guys, what's up? Kyle Hunt here with the Absolute Strength Podcast. Gonna be interviewing Nick. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be pretty laid back. We're just gonna talk on the phone. You're basically gonna be like a fly on the wall listening in on our conversation. If you haven't already, go to iTunes and just search the Absolute Strength Podcast, and you'll download it, and then you'll see this episode right up.
Ooh! Absolute Strength Podcast. I'm excited to even be on it. So, check that out, guys, and I'm gonna put you down and go back to talking to Kyle. That definitely makes a difference. Like I get my best workouts with Ricky regularly, and certain people I train with, like every time I've ever trained with Max Tuning, him and I always got good lifts in. You and I always got great lifts in. Actually, I paused at 355 for the first and only time ever. That was when you were there. What you were saying about like your grip, like how you slowly adjusted your grip slightly wider, but you did it like millimeter at a time. That is the biggest thing I realized too, because for a while I was benching obviously with the old style that I've always benched with, got up to 365 with that style, and it was working fine for me. And people told me to tuck more, tuck more, tuck more, and I would try it, but it would just feel so awkward and foreign to me that I would just be weak as hell. And I'd be like, why am I gonna sit here and waste time like struggling to do reps that I can rep out normally when I already have a technique that's working perfectly for me? And then my shoulder ended up hurting, and then I thought it was like issues from benching, and I ended up finding out down the line, I don't think I even announced this publicly, it was from low bar squatting. It wasn't from benching at all. So really? Yeah, so just literally just keeping the upper back and the whole shoulder area loose after like low bar squatting and stuff like that, just to really loosen it up, and not sleeping on it, especially after I squat heavy, made all the difference in the world. But being injured and being so worried about my shoulder, it forced me to adjust my grip slowly, and it forced me to tuck the elbows dramatically, but then it forced me to use light weight because my shoulder hurt as it was. So it forced me to like stop and rebuild my form. And because for the first time ever, I didn't have the idea in my head that, well, if I just go back to this other form, I'm strong. I couldn't do the other form, so I had no choice but to rebuild. And then it ended up working. So you're definitely right about needing to adjust your form slow. I like the Super Saiyan sex hair.
Oh, thanks.
Let's see your arm. My God, looks like you got like shotgun pellets.
I know. I just noticed it too.
That's from wrestling?
Yeah. I think because everything in wrestling, you work with the left arm. So that's what I'm assuming, because I haven't done on this.
Did you have your hair up in a ponytail?
Yeah.
That's what that's from.
It was, yeah.
I like it. It's like an 80s rock band meets Super Saiyan. Bench day number 2, doing some overload work. So just 3 sets of 5 with the slingshot. First set has to be an RPE of 8, meaning I can get like a good 2 clean reps after I rack it. And then the next 2 sets have to be an RPE 9, meaning I'm probably only good for like a set of 6 with whatever weight that ends up being. So have not done slingshot in probably a year at least. So this will be fun. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! Ready? 1, 2, up. Thank you. Perfect, thank you. For anybody who's brand new here, the slingshot, howmuchyoubench.net's where you get it from. It's great for overload. Picture like force reps with a spotter. Like, you know, when a spotter grabs the bar and helps you get those last reps out. It's sort of like that. So it allows you to do a little bit more weight than you can normally do raw, and for a little bit more reps than you can normally get it out. And that just is great for overloading the muscles. So it's best used after your raw sets are done, or if you want to throw in just an extra bench day for frequency, you can do what I'm doing today. Yeah, it's great. Saturday, last day of training this week. Pretty easy day. We're doing high bar squats to warm up for deadlifts. Haven't done high bars in forever, so this will be fun. Keeping it light, 315, doing 3 sets of 8, which is basically cardio. And then we gotta do deadlifts, work up to a single of 505, which the plan is to make that move very clean and easily. And then a bunch of rep work, because again, we need to bring this deadlift up. I can't stand deadlifts.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.